Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Toby has his toy right next to me, in case you guys heard that little squeak. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be my first update for my Pan That palette for 2023. I am working on the Urban Decay She-Hulk palette from Marvel Studios, and I am kind of excited to see where this is going. Usually, for the first few months of Pan That palette, the updates are not very exciting because, you know, the pans are new and stuff, so don't get your expectations way too high. But I am loving using this palette. I have been wearing it every single day. I am wearing it today. I'm working on a video so you guys can see how I'm wearing my eyeshadow looks. So stay tuned for that. You know, I tend to pan looks. So just, you know, have some patience with me while I get some of the looks going. That way I can put them in that video. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys a picture of where I was when I first started. But first, a lot of you guys have been asking me about my lip combo in the comments of my previous videos. I am wearing, oh my gosh, the Buxom something lip liner in the color Sublime Plum. I think that's what it's called. And my MAC lip gloss in the color Dancing Soul. It's a bright pink, but because the plum color is very dark, it kind of makes this really pretty berry color. I'm really enjoying it. They're both in Project Pan, so just keep an eye out for a Project Pan and you'll see those products. But anyway, back to this palette. Let me show you guys where I was the last time. And this is what the palette is looking like currently, you guys. So I hope you guys can see or have a good angle. I'm trying something different. But this is what the palette is looking like right now. As you guys can see, I have hit 3 pans right here. I was shocked, like super shocked that I was able to hit pan on those 3 shades so fast. Obviously, I do have progress on this dark brown here, Take a Stand, Courtroom Realness. I have a little dip going on there in the center. Then Crushing It, I also have a little bit of a dip. And then also on Super Suited, I've also started working on this one a little bit. And I hit pan on Case Closed, which is a matte cream shade. Gamma Glow, which is a very shimmery, glittery gold. And Thunderclap, which is kind of like a duochrome green. I don't know how else to explain it. It's kind of has blue and red and green in it, depending on how it looks. On how the light hits your eyes, it changes color. The colors that I have not used at all is Hulk Out, My Voice, and Brains and Brawn. Simply because I feel like Brains and Brawn is kind of similar to Courtroom Realness, or I would use it in a similar manner. And so yeah, the little sad faces, this palette came broken when I got it from Urban Decay. And so these are the shades that were lost in the process. They did send me a replacement palette, which is why I'm panning this palette. But yeah, that's why you have sad faces here. Let's see, I am using Take a Stand as an eyebrow shade. And I've been wearing it on my videos, you guys would see it. And I'm kind of working on my brush on this bottom part of the pan right here. And the brush that I'm using with that one is this one from Eco Tools. It's an angle brush. And that's what I'm using for that shade. I haven't really used this shade for anything else other than my brows. So we'll see if I can use it, if it takes me all year to pan it just using it on my brows. We'll see how long it takes me. Then Courtroom Realness, I have been using this brush right here from Mary Kay. It's, I guess, a fluffy brush, but this one is so old. Can you guys see how old it is? Like, my goodness, it's like the bristles are kind of rough. They're not soft anymore, and they're like, it looks like there's a chunk missing right there, but I love this brush. Super in love with it. And I use this one for Courtroom Realness and Crushing It when I use it on the crease. I have used Crushing It all over the lid shade as a one and done color. And I enjoyed it. And I have used, again, this brush. Even if I do it for all over the lid, I'll use this brush. Then for Case Closed, which is the cream matte shade, I use this huge fluffy brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk. I don't think she does she still do brushes? I don't know, but this is like super old. I remember getting a kit at Target maybe like 10 years ago, and this brush is super fluffy. As you guys can see, I can't tell. Okay, this is kind of like the almost the size of the pan, so it's no wonder that I was able to hit pan fairly quickly. And I don't know if I'll have it done by next update. I feel like I might, or be really close to it. Gamma Glow, I am using this shade, this brush right here. This is kind of like an angled brush from e.l.f. What is this called? Defining Eye Brush. But I was trying to use, for this shade, the gold shade, I was trying to use a brush from Too Faced. I think they're the ones that have like the teddy bear line. It's a super soft bristle brush, but because this is such a chunky, glittery shade, the brush is so soft that it wouldn't pick up anything. So I was getting real frustrated. So I ended up getting one of my rougher brushes, which is this one from e.l.f. And I really have to dig in there because it's so chunky and glittery. It's kind of like a dry glittery shade, not like the ColourPop shades that are glittery, but they're still kind of a little bit wet. I do have to use a glitter glue with these two because since they're so glittery, like a dry glitter, I need it to stay in my eye, and so I need to use glitter glue and a rougher brush to pick up the product. So I am wearing it today. If you guys saw it on my introduction, you guys would have seen me wearing it. I was wearing it all over the lid with Courtroom Realness on the crease. Then moving on to Thunderclap, which is this shade right here. I have a brush that it doesn't even have a name. I don't know the brand of this. Maybe I got it at Walmart. It just says Shadow Brush. That's all it says. And that's what I'm using again to use with Thunderclap. Thunderclap I'm using mostly as a single shadow look, just because, like I said, the duochrome makes it look different kinds of color depending on how the light hits it. So I'm really enjoying it, using it as a one and done shade, or also use Courtroom Realness in the crease and outer corner, and then Thunderclap on the lid. That's kind of how I'll alternate using both of those shades. Then let's see, I have one more shade. Oh yes, so that's it for crushing it. I'm also using the Mary Kay blending brush. And then lastly, for Super Suited, I am using another e.l.f. brush. This is a flat shader brush. This one, Super Suited, I thought it was going to be, because it looks like glittery and chunky too, I thought it was going to be the same consistency as these two, but this one's not as crumbly as Gamma Glow and Thunderclap. So I am able to pick up the shade with a regular flat shader brush, and I don't need to use glitter glue with it as I do with these two. Oh, I lied. For this blue shade, I have worn it a few times, but I have used Take a Stand in the outer corner. It looks very dramatic, but yeah, who cares? It looks like for an evening out or whatever, but it is very dramatic. You guys will see it in the video that I'm working on, and maybe it's not appropriate for the daytime, but who cares? I still wear a mask at work, and so I need to play up my eyes a little bit. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video, me showing you which kinds of brushes I use for this. Oh, I will say, this palette doesn't have a mirror, and it's driving me nuts because retail value of this palette is, I think, $47, or it was. I didn't pay that price for it. I think I paid $17 for it. It was on sale, and then I had a coupon. But the fact that this is originally $47 and it doesn't come with a mirror, I think is kind of shameful on Urban Decay's part. And it's very hard because the face palette from ABH that I'm using also doesn't have a mirror. So it's like I'm having to hold the palette and then another mirror here when I'm getting ready for, I know, first world problems, but it's very inconvenient not to have a mirror. I never realized how important it is to have a little mirror on your eyeshadow palette. But anyway, rant over. I'll give you guys one last overview of what this palette looks like before we move on. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this new format of doing my Pan That palette. I'm gonna try to keep it this way for the rest of the entire year. And let me know what you guys thought of it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.